Meeting new people during college can be fun and exciting, and it can happen when you least expect it, but sometimes there are dangers involved that never meet the eye. Let's take the case of Johnny here. He was walking to his house after a long, stressful day at school. He didn't feel like walking all the way home, so he sat on the side of the road and began to order an Uber. As he was sitting on the side of the road, a car pulled up next to Johnny and offered him a ride. The man driving it looked safe, and Johnny was always eager to make new friends, so he accepted the offer and got in the car. The man struck up a friendly conversation with Johnny, and the two were talking pleasantly the whole ride home. Johnny thought that the man was very funny and nice. He was a good listener, too. As they pulled up to Johnny's house, the man asked Johnny if he wanted to ride home again the next day, as he usually drove home this way after work anyway. Johnny was delighted and told him that he would love to get a ride from him again. Johnny thanked the man and went into his house. The next day, Johnny met the man at the same spot where they met the previous day and got into his car with a smile on his face. Johnny asked the man how his day was. The man said his day was fine, but he had to deal with an annoying coworker all day. Johnny asked why the coworker was so annoying, and the man replied saying he was being a real fag today. Johnny was taken aback by the man's use of the slur and asked him not to do that again. The man asked why he couldn't say that, and Johnny explained that hate speech was not okay. The man then asked why Johnny was so offended, and Johnny replied that he happened to be gay. The man abruptly stopped the car and demanded that Johnny get out. Johnny got out and walked the rest of the way home. Johnny thought that he had made a new friend, but what he didn't know was that the man was sick. The sickness was not visible like smallpox, but no less dangerous, a sickness of the mind. You see, the man was a homophobe, somebody who has an extreme and irrational hatred towards members of the LGBTQ community. Johnny turned out okay, but not all homophobes are passive. Some resort to violence, such as the case of Aaron McKinney and Russell Henderson. They tortured and murdered Matthew Shepard on October 6, 1998, after offering him a ride home. They drove him to a remote location and robbed, pistol-whipped, and tortured Matthew within inches of his life, and tied him to a fence, leaving him to die, all because Matthew was gay. One never knows when a homophobe is about. He may appear normal, and it may be too late when you discover that he is mentally ill. So be careful when meeting new people. Be sure to try to find accepting and genuinely kind people to be in your life. After all, you don't want hateful or sometimes violent friends, do you?